Well, good damn morning, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again, as promised. Sacramento International Airport, 6 a.m. I already got a text message from the airline saying that my seat has been changed from a window to the middle, so I'm already pissed about that. The reason I picked the window seat is because I didn't want to be in the middle or the aisle seat. See how that works? But apparently they didn't get the memo, so I'm sitting in between two fucking people. And I know it's going to be two people because the flight is full. Yay, this is my happy face. Anyway, I didn't come on here to talk about that. I'm on my way to Dallas, Texas, Tejas, for the Uncle Tom 2 premiere. A lot of good people going to be there. A lot of heavy hitters going to be in the building, so let's see whose hand I can shake and whose ear I can bend. We'll find out. I'll document it. But something I saw that was pretty fucked up, and it's unfortunate that this shit still happens, but it always will. As long as there are famous people, powerful people, this kind of shit's going to happen. So you may or may not have heard, but George Foreman, yes, great boxing champ, Hall of Fame boxer. If he's not already, he should be. I remember when I was a kid watching him beat Shannon Briggs, who was 30 years his junior. Amazing. One of the hardest hitters in professional boxing. George Foreman, yes, that George Foreman. The George Foreman that made the George Foreman grill. Now, I know there's a time in the recent past where we could all go into our kitchen and open a cabinet and find a George Foreman grill. I bought a couple of them. And did you know, originally, they offered that deal to Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan said, "I don't want it, brother." And George Foreman said, hell yeah. I don't know, he made $300-400 million off of that shit. But he's being accused of sexual assault. I know what you're thinking, Jericho, this man's in his 70s. Who the hell is he sexually assaulting? No. He may be in his 70s, but the allegations are coming from women in the 70s. These women are saying that in the early 70s, George Foreman sexually assaulted them while they were underage, between the ages of 13 and 16. There are two women coming out with these allegations. I know. Why did you wait 50 years to say something? If it was so traumatizing, you were underage, did you not have a father to tell? And both of the women say that their dads were either, one woman said her dad was an Oakland boxer and the other woman said her dad was a trainer. So why didn't you tell your dads? Because if those dads are worth a shit, they wouldn't care who he was, they would handle their business. And if George Foreman was too big for them to deal with or too much for them to deal with, I'm sure they would have grabbed some kind of equalizer. So, of course, I'm calling bullshit. You waited damn near 50 years. It was like in 71 or 72. How is this? How can you even file charges or a lawsuit? They're trying to sue him for some money. How do you even file a lawsuit with that bullshit? The 70s. Yes, bell bottoms, afros, lamb chops, butterfly collars, pintos. That's how long ago the shit was. Now, of course, I'm not diminishing what happened to him. Because if it really happened, I'm sure that was traumatizing. But why wait so long? Did you finally get up the nerve in your 60s to say something? Finally, after 4.5 decades, you finally got the strength to say something? That is such bullshit. Do something right then and there. Tell your father. And even if let's say they told their dads and dad was like, no, George Foreman wouldn't do that or whatever. What if their dads are pieces of shit? Well, at some point you turn 18, you turn 21, you turn 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So why didn't you say something then? And you're just going to come out of the woodwork and try to take money from this dude? And he said that these two women have been trying to extort him for a long time. And then, of course, he didn't do it. And he's a man of God. And he denies the allegations, everything you expect him to say. But I happen to think it's true. Now, if it's not, and George Foreman really did sexually assault some underage girls, well, Mr. Foreman, we're going to have to find you a spot under the jail, because that's where you deserve to be. But the fact that these women waited decades upon decades to say something, and they're in their 60s? It's such sad shit. And you know what? The only thing that's going to stop this is giving women who make false accusations the same sentence that the accused would have gotten had they been convicted. I think that's fair. Because there have been many cases where men have been wrongfully convicted of this shit, or even the accusation. Remember the Duke lacrosse team? More recently, what's his name? Ricky Martin? People get damaged by these accusations. That is a very serious thing, to accuse someone of forcing themselves on you. That is a horrible thing for someone to do to somebody else, and that's a horrible thing to falsely accuse somebody of. So they need to start paying the price just like the men. If rape is 10, 15, 20 years, guess what you're looking at, lady? You should have kept your mouth shut and not formulated this lie. So get ready. Got a bedroll for you, some shoes. Here's a jumpsuit. These ladies here will show you around. Hopefully that's all they do to you. But that's fucked up to make those to level those accusations against somebody, and it's not true. But that's the only way to stop that shit. And I know women, you know, we always hear about women being the victim, but if you want to be real, can we? I think we can be real inside of the Sacramento International Airport. If you want to be real, if you add prison rape, men get raped more than women. I know. I'll give you a second to pick your jaw up off the floor. Check it out. But to say that about somebody, to besmirch somebody's name in the worst way possible, no, you got to pay for that. You got to pay for that shit. I don't care if you are in your 60s. Not our fault. You decided to lie in your 60s. We got to punish you in your 60s. But I'm going on record as saying I do not believe that George Foreman did this shit. And those women should have said, if he did, they should have said something a long ass time ago. Apparently it's so traumatic that it just tortured you for years and you finally just had to say something. That is so fucking terrible. George Foreman. I bought my son when he was born. Somebody, I think it was my mom, somebody bought him the George Foreman book, where it's a book about all his kids, all his sons named George, and I think it's somebody's birthday and all the Georges, each George is doing something different. One's cleaning the house and bringing the supplies and getting the birthday cake. Great book. George Foreman just seems like a really nice guy, like a big old teddy bear. But according to those women, he was a bad man. Well, why the fuck you wait so long? I don't know. But I do know this, people. I'm about to get on this damn flight and be upset because I have to sit between two people, which I did not ask for. More importantly, I did not pay for. You guys know these damn tickets ain't cheap? Gas is high as an astronaut's ass, and you got this fool sending billions of... Don't get me started, guys. Let me try to... Here we go. Let me center my chi. Anyway, I'll do some more videos when I get there, certainly after. I'm meeting up with my brother when I get there, so I'll try to have time for that, and I'll try to document the evening as best I can. It's going down. Happier than a pig in shit, except about my seating arrangements. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Lady, shut up. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because every time it rings, some piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to JerichoGreen.net and mygreengear.com. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.